I'm Bob. I like coffee. I also like to tell stories. Here at the Bobcast Coffee, it's time for a coffee break. So take a coffee break with me, pour yourself a cup of your favorite Joe, and by the time you're done with your coffee, you'll know something about me you really didn't want to know. But you will have fun learning it. Just remember, my stories are true. For the most part. Today I'm drinking coffee from a Koppel Company coffee cup. Koppel Company is a company my wife's family had. Hot tapping, cold tapping, stuff like that. Anyway, it's a good coffee cup. Great for sitting on your desk and getting coffee to your mouth. Oh, that's good. All right. And today we're talking episode 13, the Crossman Peak story. Okay, this is another story from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. In fact, this is the first story of Bob ever being in Lake Havasu City. At the time, I was still in college, and my roommate Shan starts talking about Lake Havasu City. He had spent the summers there with his family, so we decided to take a week and go visit Lake Havasu City. Now, we had been kicking around the idea at the time of starting a regional theater or something like that, and Lake Havasu City could be the spot, so that's a great excuse to take a couple of young idiots that we are and drive a crazy road trip in the Suzuki Samurai from Ada, Oklahoma to Lake Havasu City for a week. And for a week, we drank. And we played at the lake. And we drank. And we adventured out into the desert. And we drank. And one night, while we're at a local bar, Shan starts talking about always wanting to climb the Crossman Peak. Now, the waitress who was serving us said it was no big deal. Just drive up the mountain and hike to the top and back down. The whole thing takes about an hour. Now, when you're looking at Lake Havasu, there is the riverside where the Colorado River goes by, and then there's the desert side where Crossman Peak is. It's two big peaks with a saddle in between, and the taller of the peaks is the one that everyone talks about climbing. Well, if everyone has climbed it, then it can't be that tough. We'll just get up in the morning and go climb the Crossman, and we'll be back for breakfast over at JB's restaurant. For now, let's just have another beer. The next morning, we almost got up early, but within an hour, we can be up at the top of the mountain and back, and we can have a late breakfast over at BJ's. So we jump into the Suzuki Samurai, and we head out east of town, and we follow a few good trails until we reach, in about 20 minutes, the base of the mountain. Well, it appears that if we just hike up this canyon right in front of us, it's going to lead us up, and, well, that's the direction we want to go, so we go up. Well, the first canyon leads to a ridge, and that ridge line leads to another ridge line, which, now you get the idea, just keeps adding on to different ridge lines. For a while, Shan and I climb together, but slowly Shan starts outlegging me. Then he'll stop, catch his breath, and wait until I catch up, and then he immediately takes off, leaving me no time to catch my breath. So, what does Bob do? Bob takes a rest anyway, making the distance between us greater and greater. And after a while, I'm kind of thinking to myself, Where's Shan? And I see him. He's on the far side of a valley. And if he stops, it's going to take me at least another half hour just to get around to where he is now. You know, I think we've been on this hike, this hour-long hike, for about 3 hours now. And, I'm getting a little hungry and thirsty. Water would have been a good thing to bring, maybe even a snack. I look back to where Shan is, and I notice that he's looking for me. So I holler out, "Hey, I think we should go back. There's 5 gallons of water in the Samurai." Shan yells back, "I found the path that goes straight to the top. And I see a road over on this side of the mountain." Shan wants to go for the top. So, go for the top. I'm going back to the car. All right, well, crap. No food, no water, separated at least 3 hours from the Samurai. Well, this sucks. I start my way back down now. Shan starts his way up. Now, if you think climbing up a mountain with no trail is stupid, try hiking down a mountain when you didn't mark the trail you came up. It's hot. It's dry. I'm in a bad shape now. I can feel my brain bouncing in my skull with each step. But I think I'm on the right ridge. Well, at least I think I'm on the right ridge. Until I realize I'm standing at the top of a canyon that seems way too big to be the canyon we came up. And for some reason, this canyon's heading south, not west into town, but out deeper into the desert. Oh, crap. I passed the ridge that leads back to the canyon that goes to the Jeep. I got to turn around. I got to go back. Instead, that's not what happened. The next thing, I really don't know what happened next. All I know is I might have taken a bad step. The dirt of the ridge might have given way. I don't know. But I do know Bob is now falling. And I am going down the mountain. And when I say falling, I mean I'm rolling and bouncing and sliding. And, bouncing and rolling and sliding on rocks isn't fun. But I will tell you this. Rolling and bouncing on rocks is a very, very far superior to what happens next. The next thing I know, as I'm picking up speed heading down the mountain, I roll through a patch of barrelhead cactus. Do you know you can get a fine for destroying barrelhead cactus in Arizona? Yeah, at the moment I didn't care. I came to a stop about 10 yards past this offending patch of cactus. And the moment I stop, the dust starts to settle and the pain sets in. It seems to be emanating from all over my body. The patch of cactus has left little gifts stuck in me. And I'm standing. The only thing that's not hurting is the bottom of my feet, because the boots, at least I was wearing boots, protected the bottom of my feet. So I spend the next hour, several hours, using my trusty Swiss Army pocket knife, and I pull out cactus needles from all over my body, out of my clothing, until I am sitting quite naked. Bob tends to get naked in a lot of these stories. I'm sitting there looking out south into the desert, And if you want to clear your head, if you think you might be getting a little foggy, I will tell you that this kind of pain brings back clarity. I realize going out into the desert and trying to walk around this mountain until I find the car is not going to happen. If I have any chance of finding the samurai before dark, I got to go up. I got to go back up this ridge before it gets too dark. And up I go, sliding back half of the step each time I step forward. After quite a long time, I make it to the top. This is where I fell from. I am exhausted. I am dehydrated. And, well, I'm just done. The sun is getting low, and I just need some good news. Now, I stumble away from this ridge because I don't want to go back down that side of the mountain. And I sit down on a rock. And now I'm looking west, out as the lights of Lake Havasu City start to come on. I just have no energy to go on. Then I notice, right next to me, there's another barrelhead cactus sitting there all by its lonesome. And I think for a moment, barrelhead cactus are protected in the state, but they also hold a lot of water. So, in revenge on his brethren that I rolled through, I'm going to whip out my Swiss Army pocket knife again. Swish, swish, stab, and I kill my prey. I slice into the moist insides, and I eat my fill. Now, barrelhead cactus is full of water, and the meat will fill up your stomach. Now, all of a sudden, I've got something in my stomach, liquid back into my brain, the fog is lifting, I have a little bit of energy, and I realize I am standing on top of that original valley that Shan and I came up. Well, at least it's one of the three valleys that all merge at this point, but I'm pretty sure it's one of them. And I'm fairly confident it's the middle one. Well, I hope so, because off I go, down into the valley, and at least I'm heading in the right direction for town, although it's at least 5 miles to the west. All right, now I'm racing dark. It's coming on fast. And as quickly as I can, I am sliding and climbing down this very narrow canyon. Now it's time for me to teach you a survival skill. When you are dehydrated and the fog is coming over your brain, a cactus, most cactuses, can give you a lot of life-saving fluid. But you need to know how a cactus works. The cell structure is made to absorb and hold water. And no matter how much you chew the meat of a cactus, you will never stop the cells from doing what they are made to do, which is absorb water. What you do is chew up the meat, drink the water, and then spit the pulp out. Because if you do what I did and eat the cactus, about a half hour after you feast yourself to fullness, the cactus does what it's supposed to do. And it does it in your stomach. And it absorbs all the water it can. This is the point where Bob basically goes bonkers. I no longer know who I am or where I am. And for some reason, I do know I'm looking for a car. And at this point, once again, God saves me. As I am walking, wandering, stumbling out into the desert night, I hear my name, or at least what I think is my name, from somewhere behind me. And I turn around And I look back at the Crossman Mountain, and I look at this very narrow valley that I just came down, and I realize I have just walked right past a blue Suzuki Samurai, right where it was that we left it earlier that morning. I'd walked past it. So I stumble my dehydrated, mind-crazy butt back to the Samurai, and I get that 5 gallons of jug of water out, and I start drinking. Bob lives to fight another day. Now that my immediate survival is secure, I remember Shan. You know Shan? He was the guy that I came out into the desert to climb this stupid rock with. Well, crap. I've lost Shan. I dig the keys out of my pocket, and I get in the Samurai, and I start driving around, now heading north side of the Crossman, looking for this road that Shan told me about. Well, an hour of driving in circles in the desert. I realize I don't know this area. I am totally lost out here. The only thing I do know is I can see the light of the city to the west. And I am not going to find any road. So west I turn, and I take any trail I can find until I hit pavement. Now, as soon as I hit pavement, I pull into the very first driveway I find, and I go bang on the door. Bang, bang, bang. Hello. No answer. Bang, bang, bang. Hello. Small, elderly female voice answers back. Who is it? My name is Bob. I've lost my friend in the desert. I need to call the police. Can I use your phone? She answers me. No. All right, let me try this again. My friend could be dying. Please let me call the police. She answers me. No, now leave. All right, look, lady, I'm very serious. My friend could be dead. I need to talk to the police. If you don't leave my property, I'm going to call the police. Okay, Bob, think this one over. All right, ma'am, you call the police. I'm going to sit right here until they get here. And guess what? 10 minutes later, I have 2 policemen in a squad car with their lights pointing at me. I yell back at the house, "Thank you." Now I explain myself to the cops. My name is Bob Reynolds. I have been lost on the Crossman Peak, and I can't find my friend. And one of the cops interrupts me. Shan's at the hotel room, and he called us hours ago looking for you. I look back at the cop. Hours ago? Well, crap. If you don't mind, officers, can I just go to the hotel room now? The cop looks at me and says, "Do you know how to get to the hotel room?" Man, been out in the desert all day trying to kill myself. And I've now got that cop making a joke about me being lost. So I look at him and I answer him. No, I really don't know how to get back there. So one cop gives me directions to the hotel. The other one goes and explains to the poor woman in this house that I have terrorized what's going on. And then I go to the hotel room. And there, sitting in his bed, clean, watching TV, and eating a bag of chips is Shan. And then he wants to tell me about how he had trouble, blah, 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 and how he got dehydrated, blah, 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 and how he was picked up by an elderly couple who were out poaching cactus for their cactus garden. Blah, 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 blah. I look at Shan and I say, I'm hungry. So after a quick shower, we go to the BJ restaurant for a late dinner. I believe we may have eaten everything on their menu. Now to tell you this, it's sad to say, everything in this story, minus maybe a minor bit of the truly dehydrated parts, is absolutely true. Shan lived, I lived. There were more adventures to come. Until the next time.